Well, as former President Donald Trump becomes the official Republican presidential nominee, there's another story involving Mr. Trump that has also been in the news this week, and it's one you might have heard about. The former president was injured days ago in an incident that was pretty scary. Mr. Trump, who is seeking a second term in office, was speaking at an outdoor campaign rally in Pennsylvania when law enforcement officials say a man shot at him. The former president suffered a minor injury, but thankfully he's doing okay. Look, we know this is a really scary story, and some of the images are very upsetting. So we asked our friend Jennifer Hartstein, a child and family psychologist, to help us sort through some of what you might be feeling. And kids, you may want to grab a parent or grown-up to watch in case you have any questions.
So over the weekend, many kids may now know that the former president, President Trump, was at a political rally, and there was an attempt at taking his life. And there are a lot of questions around it, and I'm sure that you have a lot of questions around it. But all we know is that he was protected and he is safe, despite the fact that there was this attempt on his life, which was scary for everybody there, and I'm sure it could be scary for some of you. The news can make us anxious, and it can really make us worried. And when we aren't hearing all of the stories or all of the stuff, it can be very overwhelming. And then that worry can kind of go with us everywhere. So a couple things we want to think about. Don't look at the news. If you go into the room and your parents are watching the news and you know it makes you nervous, walk away or maybe ask your parents to shut the news off. Some really important things we want to do is we want to think about how we're breathing. When we get nervous, our breathing speeds up or we hold our breath. Never good. So one of the things I like to teach is a really simple breathing technique. You start breathing through your nose like you're smelling a flower or your favorite smell, and then you want to blow out like you're blowing your birthday candles out. So you breathe in through your nose and blow out like you're blowing candles, and that helps slow your system down and helps you feel much more regulated. And if you can, and you're really overwhelmed, sit on the floor. Get yourself on the floor, because the more you can get on the floor, you feel more grounded, your body calms down, and then you can go about your day. It's really important when you're confused to ask people for clarification. So what does that mean? That means go to the people in your life who may have more answers. The truth is sometimes the only answer we have is I don't know, which none of us particularly like. But if we can ask camp counselors, teachers, parents, anybody that you trust for clarification on something, then that might help us feel calmer. It's normal and it makes sense to be afraid when you see images or hear the stories or have questions about what happened. I think many adults have a lot of questions and might also be afraid. So I think it's really important not to ignore that and to talk to the people in your life. Talk to trusted adults, your parents, aunts and uncles, coaches, anybody that you feel comfortable with about what's making you scared. Ask questions, see what you need, and take in that information that they're giving you back, that at the end of the day, scary things happen less than non-scary things. So we want to remember that more times than not, we are really safe. And we want to try and remember that and remind ourselves of that a lot.
Jennifer Hartstein, thanks so much for your advice and insight.